evening, guys. I'm over here now, and it is me and Shaquille here with you on the ILFL Soccer Night Show. Just before the break, we did touch on something which Shaquille expanded on during the break. So I will let you into a not so closely guarded secret. There are two of us. I did say we were going to have a third guest here. Our current referee of the year, Julius Allen, was due to be here this evening, but unfortunately has run into some problems and cannot make it this evening now. And one of the things, I don't want to bore you guys with the whole laws of the game and the referees issue. So what we've got to do is we were going to talk to him about looking forward to the new season and how he's going to approach the season now with the teams. You guys know his face day in, day out. Everybody knows him. I think even people who walk the dog across Hackney Marshes know who Julius Allen is. And it's just about how he freshens himself up and makes himself, up for the game again each season. But maybe we'll get him on and we'll ask him those questions again, because he's got to face you guys out there again in a few weeks' time. But Shaz, you spoke to me during the break about the incidents that have happened over the weekend, notably in the Premier League. And some of you may have noticed, for those of you that watch the highlights program that comes from that, is that there were a couple of incidents. They both happened at corners.
Yeah, both of them.
One happened with Stoke, and one was a player who was defending for Manchester City, who was penalised as well. And the question you wanted to ask me was,
why are you going to implement a rule that's already implemented, have it in action now? Like, there were rules there last season, so why all of a sudden, because there's new rules coming in this season, you're going to implement another new rule,
so
which is to us is from last season?
What these players were cautioned for,
yeah,
was that a new rule?
Yes.
And what I'm saying to you is no, there was no new rule. They have always been there. The directive has just been implemented this year, where we've been asked to clamp down on it a little bit more as referees.
Why implement it now? Why didn't you implement it last season? Or even in the Euros?
I think, right, you know what, I'm going to play advocate here, and I don't want to, say something that maybe I shouldn't. And let's talk about it at grassroots level,
okay,
for example. So let's put it this way. What you saw happen over the weekend, can you see that? Can you see that happening at grassroots level, and can you see a referee giving out a caution for it?
I can see it happening in grassroots, yes. Could the referee caution for it, give a penalty to it? I'm not quite sure. He'll definitely give a penalty
if
for
he
it.
did, and let's talk about your team.
Okay, if
Right,
he
let's
did.
talk about your team. Let's say it happens to your team. Can you see your team amicable?
To give a penalty to my team? Against
your
my
side.
team.
Yes.
There will not be.
If you're penalised, one of your defending players were penalised just like that, can you see that being something that your team will take peacefully and actively?
No, absolutely not. Because I haven't been told. I haven't been told. No one's told me. Even the players wouldn't be known. Because how would they know? No one's been telling them. And even I wouldn't know. So it would be new for everyone. Even the people who are watching the game, if they weren't there. Everyone, it would be new for everyone.
So now we come around to something. See, this is very interesting now, Jackson. This is what we've been missing for the last couple of weeks. So now we come around, and you're leading me in very, very nicely here, where you're saying you would have had no idea.
No.
So my point has been over the last few weeks that sometimes players, of course, they have no idea, because even though it's been made aware that there are some law changes, those law changes are freely available to any one of you that have a computer and have internet access. It's not just the referees. You can all see it, and you can all take the time to read it. But how many of you do?
New law, there's new rules, right? Fair enough. Brilliant. But this is what happened. Incident happened on weekend. That's not a new rule. So why are you going to implement now? Right now, out of the whole entire last season,
because
it's beyond my point.
Because a few weeks ago,
it's crazy.
A few weeks ago, and it was out there, especially for you guys who read the newspaper, watch various sports channels on the TV. It was there, and a directive was announced that starts from the Premier League right down through the English Football League and right down to grassroots level, that all of these directives were going to be implemented and enforced, and that teams better watch out. So are you suggesting to me that maybe teams will just ignore that?
Oh, not anymore. Certainly, what
Is it because of what they've seen on the TV now? Now they've seen it on TV.
Absolutely.
Now
they're going to be a lot of teams
This has always
now.
been my argument, and this has always been my argument, that the fact that sometimes, maybe, and I'm not saying all of you, maybe players, maybe sometimes coaches, managers, do not take responsibility for themselves in finding out what are the changes, what are the new directives, or even when it has been told to them, they ignore it until somebody who they trust on the TV actually says it. And is that not a bizarre way to follow your football, or is that the way it's always been? Because we always tell our children, look up to your idols. So they watch the TV and they watch things that are said, done, and whatever, and they follow it. So does that not change as we become adults then?
It's not a bizarre thing. No, as a player, and if I look as a player or as a coach, because I'm both, as a player, I would expect my coach to tell me what the new rules are, or the rules are. And as a coach, I'm expected to tell my players. So I'll look at it 2-point view. As a player, I wouldn't really read more about the rules. I'll be more focused about how to develop myself, or how to improve myself.
Can you see where this conversation is going? We're having this conversation. It's a great conversation. You know what? I love it. I could talk about it all day, but I don't want to bore you guys. All I will say about this is when it comes down to this level, when you walk out onto the pitch, you want to know, well, what is going to happen? Is it just going to be the same as before, the same status quo, or are there going to be things that are going to change this season where referees are going to want to impose things, and there's going to be almost like this standoff between you? All I will say to you is this. Referees had a meeting yesterday. It was a full referees meeting for all referees that referee in the ILFL, and there was an agreement and an understanding on how the interpretation and implementation of the law will stand in the new season. I fully suspect that as club managers, coaches, officials, whoever you are, there will be a team meeting, a meeting for all club managers and club officials that will happen prior to the season starting. And I would urge you to be at that meeting, because then you too will be given access to the information that's been given to the referees, and how the implementation and interpretation of the law and the directives that we've been asked to follow will pan out over a season. So I think that should be the closing word that we have on it, because we've spoken about it in successive shows over the last 3-4 weeks, and I don't want to keep going on about it. But what I said to you from the beginning to what I've said now is, you have been warned. We've discussed it enough. The information is out there. You know something's going to happen. You've seen it happen now in the Barclays Premier League. It's going to happen to you within your grassroots football in the inner London Football League. Having said that, I should tell you as well now that what's going to happen is the new season, the new ILFL winter season, the provisional date has been set, and it is the 18th of September. The 18th of September. You only have but 3 or 4 weeks to prepare yourselves and get yourselves ready. Preparation isn't just about making sure your kit is clean, you've got those new pair of boots, and making sure that you're in the first team. Club officials, you have to make sure that you've got all of your admin in place. So those of you that have to do the mundane things, and this is for people who don't understand what it's like to run a team, you have to make sure you get your LFA registration in and insurance and all those things. There are deadlines for that. Make sure you get it done by the end of this month, or you just will not be allowed to play. You just won't have any fixtures. So those new boots will have to stay in the box for a little bit longer. Get all your admin sorted so you can be part of the opening day's fixtures on the 18th of September. Before that, our precursor to the opening of the season is the awards ceremony that's happening on the 1st of September, and that's happening at the White House, which is on Barking Road, the White House Banqueting Suite. Make sure you Google it. Should I say that? Make sure you Google it, make sure you know the postcode, and make sure you know where it is, and make sure you're there early and on time, because it will start on time. A whole array of awards, even more than last year, to be dished out again. You know who the winners were, and the winners, we expect to see you there up on the stage looking glorious as you pick up your trophies and medals. And for those of you that are not picking up anything, come and celebrate the occasion with us. It is our celebration of everything which is ILFL. You make it what it is, so please come and be a part of it. Shaquille, I don't get to see you much up here, but I know as well as being involved with Bromley by Bow, there are other things that you're very, very passionate about and you involve yourself in. Tell us about one of the youth projects that you're involved in right now.
Yeah, I mean, I love working with youth. It's all about getting the youth involved in, particularly getting involved in sports. So I run sessions in Marna Primary School, which is in Bromley by Bow Station, not far from here. I'm planning to make a squad up for underage kids who are under 8s to play for 18 weeks in a league. So we run sessions every Tuesday from 6 o'clock until 7:30.
And where is that happening?
It's in Marna School. It's in the primary school called Marna School in Davis Street. So it's not far from here. You can Google it. It's very accessible. It's about 2 minutes away.
And when is that starting?
I run sessions every Tuesday evenings from 6 o'clock in the evening to 7:30.
And how is that going right now?
It's going really well. We have a lot of kids, young kids who love playing sports. And it's about not just kids, it's about parents as well, engaging time with their kids. And we're all busy working and stuff like that. So it's an opportunity for young kids to be involved in football. Not just football, just enjoying themselves. And that's why I have a session where I just let the kids express themselves. And that's what it's all about. But I want to get them involved in a league. In the under 8 league, 5-a-side league, which starts very soon in September, and it's free, so no one pays, and it's for age kids from 7 to 10. But I'm looking for kids who are under 8s to start
at this moment in time.
Yeah.
You can't turn your nose up at a free session, can you? So if you've got budding footballers, those younger ones in the family who are always looking up to you, they're wearing the shirts, they're seeing you buy the boots and they want to be a part of it as well. Shats has got it going on at Marna School on a Tuesday evening. Get them down, it's a free session. What have you got to lose? You can get them down there, they can go and take part in football. Football in the community is what it's all about. ILFL are an active partner who are actively involved in football in the community. That's what all of our football projects are about. So well done to you, Shaquille, for telling us about that and being involved in that. We've only got a minute or two before we come to the end of the show. So I'm just going to recap on things that we started on the beginning, right from the beginning. Arsenal versus St Catherine's. That's the closing fixture of the Summer League programme. That's taking place this Saturday. I believe that one will be a 2 o'clock kickoff, if I may be wrong, but I think it's a 2 o'clock kickoff taking place. So if you want to just come down and see what happens, come on down. We'll be there. We'll take a camera down there and we'll film the event and bring it to you here next Monday on the ILFL Soccer Night Show. Don't forget our awards ceremony. That's going to take place on the 1st of September. You should already know about that. Your managers, your club officials would already be letting you know about that. Come on down. Let's have some fun and celebrate things which are all ILFL in terms of projects. And then the new season. New season is going to start on the 18th of September. Make sure everything is in place. Club officials, managers, secretaries, make sure your admin is in place so you're able to send your boys out there to go and do what they need to do on their Sundays. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the Prem. I'm particularly looking forward to the First Division because I think that's going to be a real close one. People beating everybody. I don't think there's going to be people that are going to run away with it at all. I'm looking forward to it. I know Shats will look forward to it as well. And I look forward to reporting on it all here on the ILFL Soccer Night Show. So we have come to the end. My thanks as always to the guys behind who have made the show work and make it look more seamless than it is sometimes. So thanks very much to them. Thanks to you guys for watching. As always, it's very warm in here and we need to get out and get ourselves some fresh air. So it's good night from Shats, it's good night from me, and we'll see you next Monday on the ILFL Soccer Night Show. Good night.